initially on our first meeting. So I have a list here, just in my notebook. I take this notebook everywhere with me. So I have a list on here of just things that I like to make sure that we've covered. It kind of includes every section, every main section of a wedding, and I just like to discuss that with you so that you can go away, discuss it with your partner, and we can bounce off each other on our next meeting as to what you'd like. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss with you is invites. Okay, invites. Don't worry if I'm taking notes. I tend to just write a lot of what you say down. So, do you have a colour scheme? Do you have a colour scheme for the wedding? Because if you do have a colour scheme for the wedding, it is quite nice to tie that in with the invites. So for instance, if you're going for a pastel purple or anything like that for your bridesmaids, it's sometimes nice to tie that in with the invites. So do you have a colour scheme for your wedding at the moment or no? Okay, we can come back to that. Okay. And in terms of invites in the material, are you looking for anything specific, such as you want them made out of recycled paper? Is there any type of print that you like? A lot of people like a big bold print. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So with that, I appreciate we can't do the invites until we have a set date, and just to tie that around to the date, do you have kind of a date that you are very set on getting married on, or is it just a general, you'd like it in the summer, you'd like it in the winter, or is there a specific date that you'd like? Okay, so you're looking kind of anything from the 14th of July time to the 14th of September. You just want it to kind of be in that month. Yeah. I mean, July and August is a very popular wedding choice. But you have sort of given a range. You're not so, because I know on our brief discussion before, I know you said that it could be weekends and weekdays. Does that still stand? Weekends and weekdays? Okay, perfect. I mean, that will definitely give you more option when you're looking for venues. A lot of the venues, if it is just on a weekend that you're looking to get married, they can book up just years in advance. Some of them, yeah, some of them are years in advance. So that's good that you sort of have every day from the 14th of July to the 14th of September. Okay, let's get that down. That's the wedding date that we're gonna, okay. And do you have a preference when we're talking venue? Are you wanting it outside or inside? Are you wanting it partially outside? Or you, okay. Yeah, I mean, the thing with outside, although you've picked a good season for it, if you start getting towards the September time, I mean, even in England, to be honest with you, in July and August, you can never control the weather, and it's quite temperamental, so you could get a rainy day. And I think if you choose an outside option, you just have to be mentally prepared that it could change how your day looks. Yeah, I've had brides before that have embraced the rain, and they've done the whole thing, the whole ceremony outside. They've gone inside later for the night doing whatnot. Before the ceremony, they've embraced the rain. Their wedding photos look amazing. Yeah, everybody's wet, everybody's drenched, but they look really romantic and really pretty. So yeah, I think it just depends on how you feel with that. If you are very particular on your hair and your makeup and things looking a certain way, and you're quite I don't want to say control freak, but you're quite precise on how every moment should flow in your wedding, I would probably avoid it if your wedding should be towards the end of August and the September mark. Yeah, I think you should be okay if you're in July, August, yeah. But yeah, I think that's definitely a discussion that you should have with your partner in terms of how you would feel if it rained. Yeah. Okay. What next do we have? So we have a day. Okay. I'll run through a couple of the wedding venues. So we do have 2 outdoor venues and 2 indoor venues that we work with quite frequently. The only issue is on the 2 outdoor venues, they don't have a lot of capacity in terms of seating. I mean, we could probably work with them on maybe how many guests. We can discuss that. I'll write that down. How many guests you could have maybe standing around, and possibly lining the path up, because there is quite a long walkway. But the bride will probably usually use the walkway, yeah, for the bride for obvious reasons. But there is a possibility of lining that depending on how many guests you have. Of course, it can only accommodate so many, but yeah. Okay, so the first one can cater to around 50. Yeah, the second venue can, I think that caters to 35. Yeah, so you have smaller numbers on the outside venues, mainly because these 2 that we work with, again, we can look further afield and for different venues. Of course, we just know that these ones are reliable. Again, if you want to suggest any venues, we can go through them, but 35 for the second venue is because it's more of a quaint kind of quirky village area, and the grounds are enclosed quite significantly with beautiful flowers and greenery, but it does only live quite a small area. You then have the option to go inside for the evening do. That can cater significantly more. You're sort of looking at numbers around 200 for the evening do. So yeah, so what you could do is invite, say, family, just close family for the day do, and then for the night you could just have a huge party. Yeah. In terms of the party, again, it would depend sort of what your colour scheme is for the wedding as to whether you want to pull that through into the evening. So we have multiple options really. Most people, I will say most people that I work with, they tend to pull the colour scheme through into the evening. And so all the table dressings, chair dressings, so forth, they're all in line again. If you're talking pastel purples, they all have that tied in with them. And then we go to the other side of the scale, and we have brides that go for a completely different evening theme, and they actually change their dress. I had one bride that changed from a beautiful white flowing gown into a complete black kind of mini rocker dress. She looked amazing, and the evening was black chairs, black table dressings, everything was black, with a lot of glitz, so there was a lot of gold kind of glamour in there as well, and a black rocker girl dress. She looked amazing, she really did. But again, it depends on what you're going for, so we'll have to look at that as well. So you need to be discussing colour theme with your partner, and numbers for your guests. Okay. Photography. Let's look at photography. Okay. Because the numbers as well tie into what we're kind of looking at in terms of the bridal party as well. say the most important thing at this point is if we're looking at number of guests, specifically who are they? Like, it would be great if we can have a list of who is coming to your wedding. That would be great. And then we can look at a colour theme. If you can look at a colour theme as well, we can work with that too, because then I can start suggesting different products and different items depending on your colour scheme. Okay, photography. Now I work with a lot of different photographers at the moment, so I can suggest a range to you. But again, if you know someone external, we can work with them too. What type of photography are you looking at? Do you want, are we wanting just still photos? Are we wanting videos? Are we, and are you wanting them for prior to the wedding prep, all that side? Are we just wanting them for the ceremony? Are you wanting them for the night time too as well? You can get pretty good deals on them if you choose to do it for the whole way through. Morning to night, you can get some really good deals. It's nice as well because you can see everything that has been going on. Yeah, so you can see sort of you becoming sort of nervous in the morning, if you like. You get to see all those nerves with your family and in the changing dressing area with the bridesmaids, so forth. And you will also get to see after the photos of your groom getting ready, and him with his groomsmen and so forth, and his side of thinking in his room, and you don't get to see that. Yeah, so you get to see sort of the other side of it, which I think is really nice to be able to look back on after, because there are moments from the wedding that you don't get to see without a photographer. So yeah, I would recommend having them there for both pre and post, but that is a decision for you guys to be making. Have you chosen your dress yet? Have you been dress shopping? No? Okay. Well, I can come with you. I can take you to quite a few boutiques that I know that have amazing dresses. There's also so many different styles and colours. If you're looking at, have you chosen, are you going with the traditional white ivory dress? Yeah, okay. I know an amazing little boutique, which is not actually too far from here, and they have some beautiful dresses in. They have some really traditional dresses in, but they also have some quite modern ones, some miniskirt ones. We have sweetheart necklines, we have strapless, we have halter necks. There is just so much range. Long sleeves, short sleeves, we have lace, we have satin, we just, there is everything. Yeah, so we can definitely take a look at that. That's not a problem. Okay, so these are the takeaways that I think you should go and discuss with your partner. Colour theme. If you can come up with a colour theme for our next meeting, that would be amazing. A guest list. If you can give me a number, I can appreciate there might be a grey area on a few numbers at this point, which is fine. But if you can give me kind of a guide as to the numbers that we're looking for, it will help in selecting the venue. Okay. And then dresses. Yeah, we can sort of, if you can just have a little look online to have kind of an idea of what you would like, and we can look at dresses as well for our next meeting. And then photography, if you can just kind of work out whether you would like an all day, a morning, just for the ceremony, an evening. The only reason I'm pushing that bit so hard at the moment is because good wedding photographers book up in advance. They can be booked up, just the best ones are booked a few years in advance, yeah. And I don't want you to miss out on a good photographer because we left it too late. Okay, so yeah, I'd appreciate if you can just take those few things away. We're meeting again next Friday? have a lovely week.